Okay, so I have carved layer 1 of this block and now it's time to print it. So I've mixed up a kind of mossy greeny colour to be the base layer, and actually looking at it now, I think I'm just going to add a little bit more black to it because I think I want it a little bit more grey than it currently is. On to printing layer 1. I'm hoping to get this through, and we've got a couple of pretty warm days coming up. And so I would like to get this printed and then hopefully print layer 2 either on Friday or maybe on Monday next week. I'm up to carving layer 2 of this block. I've had a couple of people ask me how I determine in what order to carve and print the layers for a reduction block. This is pretty much determined by the lightness of the colour. So a fainter colour will be printed earlier and then darker colours towards the end. So for this block there's going to be a greyish green, a pink and a black. So I'm starting with the greyish green. I've already printed that layer, and now on the block I need to carve away everything that I want to stay this green, and then I'll be printing the pink layer. The reason that I'm printing the greenish color first is that pink is a more vibrant color and is likely to show through the green. Also, because I want this background here to be green and it's got such fine hatching detail in it, it would be really unwise to have a layer between the white and the green because it's likely to become a bit muddy unless I've lined up the block with the print absolutely perfectly. It will come out a little muddy. So the best course of action for me is to print the green first, cut away everything that's going to be green, then print the pink on top of that. And if the green shows through the print, I can always go back and print the pink color multiple times, like twice, to get it to build up the ink on top. And then the black will obviously be last. Black will pretty much always be the last color that you print. The tools that I'm going to use will be the usual suspects. So we have the very finest U and V feel tool. We have an EC Lyons graver, number 46 in this case. We have the Hua Hong U tools, a 1mm and a 2mm tool. And then this time, since we're clearing bigger space, I'm going to add in these Yoshiharu tools, the Japanese tools that are much bigger. So we've got a wide U and a wide kind of large V tool. here is the block. Layer 2 is carved. Now I have also mixed up this pink colour. This will be my layer 2 colour. I'm sitting out and being indecisive now. I wonder if I want it to go a little bit darker. I think I do. So for this block, I'm going to avoid putting ink onto the face, and I'm going to avoid putting ink onto the border. I may even make a card mask to avoid printing those areas if I do get ink on those areas. And the reason is that those areas are more precise and more important, and the less layering I put there, the less likely I am to make mistakes as time goes on. It also means that there's less ink layered up on the paper, and that will make it easier as layers go on to like have the ink stick and be smooth and not have layers show through the later layers. Layer 2, often the prints look a little bit muddy, but by the time you put a black layer that has outlining on it, it completely changes the print. So the next layer will definitely be the transformative layer, but I think we're still getting some more details in, and it's still kind of exciting to see the progress and the journey towards the full thing. So there we go, there is the second layer. Next time you see me, I'm going to be carving layer 3. When I last printed, I printed the pink onto the green, and as we talked about, that's the better lay of colours because the green is the lighter colour, the pink is more vibrant and is a darker colour, and so today we're going to be printing the black on top of that. So with my block, because I outlined what's going to be black in my biro pen, it's pretty easy still to see the outlines. I'll do a little bit more outlining on the block just to make sure that I know what I'm doing, and then I'm going to go in and carve away everything that I want to be pink, leaving on the block everything that I want to be black. Just as an FYI, it's a really hot kind of windy day today, so if there's a little bit of wind background noise or I get a little bit hot and sweaty looking, sorry. But I really needed to get this finished off today, so I'm just going to go ahead and get it done. I'm pausing for just a minute to give you some notes on carving. So when you're carving a block, it's really important to remember to outline areas that you're going to remove the liner from completely. So you outline the area, and then you would use a slightly bigger tool. So this is the Hua Hong 2mm tool to remove that area. So you just do line on line to remove the area. And then my personal preference is to use one of these Easy Lines gravers to flatten the area out. So you'll see that unlike some people's lino, there's no ridges. I've used that graver, which is the 46 EC Lines graver, to completely flatten the area, which means that I won't get chatter marks from the printing process, which keeps my block a lot cleaner and my lino a lot, my print a lot cleaner. So if you're concerned about chatter marks in your lino printing, the best thing to do is to try and flatten that lino, whether you're using a graver tool like that or you're maybe using a big wide U, such as this one, to try and make sure that there's not going to be anything from the block that you want removed that's going to pick up ink. Alright, so it's fully carved and I think it's going to look good. I think I'm pretty happy with where I am. I've been moving kind of slowly because it is so damn hot today. So I'm going to have a rather plodding print day, but that's okay. I'll just show you because I don't think I showed you in the other sections. This is the ink that is Calico Safe Wash Relief ink. It's an oil-based ink put out by Cranfield. I don't necessarily recommend this over and above any other ink, but I would recommend that if you can, use an oil-based ink because it does perform a lot better than the water-based inks. This one is made to be easier to wash up than traditional oil-based inks, but I think it's only marginally easier to wash up, honestly. Washing up is a little bit harder with oil-based inks in general. Now, I want to address something that I will get asked about if I don't talk about it, but I do soak my paper in water. The reason that I do that is that the paper that I use is quite thick and it's a little bit textured. And that means that in order to get a clean print, I need to wet the paper to make it malleable and flexible. If you have a paper that you don't need to wet, or you could get away with just spraying with water or spraying with water on the back of the page, I would recommend you do that, but it is an option if you're struggling with the paper you're using to make a clean print. It's really important to get any excess water that might be sitting on the printing surface off the surface. So first I put it in a towel and I soak up the water, and then I get a paper towel and blot the printing surface just to make sure there's no water that's going to impact the way the ink lays on the paper. Okay, so here is the final print. I always forget as I'm doing the process of reduction printing how much the last layer makes an impact. Like, I know to remind myself of that in the middle layer section where it gets a little bit muddy and the colors are kind of a tone where there's not enough variation, particularly with the colors that I'm choosing to use, but I still feel quite surprised and quite astounded every time I pull the final print and it's got the dark black layer on it, and it like makes the image pop and it makes it really come to life. I imagine you can see what a difference, and with the footage that I showed of printing it, what a difference that this has made for this print. It kind of looked a little indistinct, the pink didn't look very bright, and as soon as that black defining layer went on, it really changed everything about the image and the way that it felt and looked. I know that there's always things that I forget to say when I'm doing these kinds of videos. I'm going to do a more thorough video on reduction print with the steps a little bit more clearly laid out, probably in a month or two, but I know that I've forgotten some of the steps and there might be things that are missing from this video. So if there are things that you want to ask questions about, please do ask in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer. As ever, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you want more printmaking content from me, please subscribe to my channel. I put out videos each week. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you in the next video.